Hey, look who's here. Hey, Mean Matt.
Hey, Mean Matt here.
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 Well, Fastlane's in the books now, and there's a few shockers there, I gotta say. You know, it kind of makes me glad to be a fan in WWE, sort of, because you never know what's gonna happen, and I think that last night was interesting. Some really cool shit happened, some really bad shit happened, but you know, WrestleMania's coming to be what, well, matches were made, as it seems, yesterday, so I guess we'll take a look before I keep rambling. So we had the pre-show, we had Kofi Kingston face-to-face with Kevin Owens with a New Day by his side. They were getting ready to talk about the match. I guess it was, I can't remember who, the director of person, whatever, who came and said, Kofi, McMahon wants to talk to you about the WWE Championship match. So we right away thought, at least I did, about having him in a triple threat match with Kevin Owens and Danny Bryan. I was excited, but I was also like, you know, I kind of understand if they want to push his push to WrestleMania. It would make a little bit more sense. A little bit more memorable, I would think. So then we had the New Day versus Rusev and Nakamura. This was a pretty good match. I mean, Nakamura and Xavier did a really good match. It did really good with each other. You have Rusev and Big E, obviously. Four really had good chemistry in the ring together. So I think that I'd like to see more in the future, but the New Day won. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, it would have made a little bit more sense if Nakamura and Rusev won. You know, the New Day is pretty cool anyhow, and so I'd like to see what they'll do next time. I don't even know if they'll be having a match at WrestleMania, but only time will tell. Then we have the Fastlane pay-per-view, and the first match of the night, the Usos versus McMiz. And you know, that was another surprise. That was one of the surprises that I talked about. So this match was very good. I think that you had Shane in his whole brawler type gimmick there, and the Miz did the skull crushing finale, or tried to at least. You had Shane go up on the top rope for the coast to coast. At the same time, I think it was either Jay, it might have been Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, do the splash. And they missed. They both hit the mat. And it was kind of, okay. Well, the Usos actually picked up the win, and they remained the tag team champions, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, the whole premise of this was you were going to have George Mizanin in front row, because this was Mike's hometown, and yeah, it was going to be interesting. So they lost the match. You have The Miz and Shane together in the ring. You think that things are going to heat up, and Miz is going to turn heel. They get outside the ring. They console George, and Miz and George hug, and Miz walks away, and the first shock of the night, Shane blindsides him. Shane McMahon beat the shit right out of The Miz in front of George. And this was like, okay, I knew they were going to have a match at WrestleMania. I didn't think that it was going to be Shane turning heel. But, you know, The Miz makes a good heel, but Shane definitely, 20 years ago, was probably one of the best sidekick heels, or whatever you want to call it, back then. So, I mean, this is cool. I can't wait to see where this goes. I hope that it's going to be a good match. I mean, we all know that Shane puts himself in matches, or he gets put in matches, that I wish that were for superstars that train every day. I mean, I know he trains, but I don't know, to me, he's not a legit wrestler. He's there as a street fighter, it seems. Because he's always in street clothes, he's always brawling outside, he's always doing things that you don't see in every other wrestler in WWE. So, but then we have the Women's SmackDown Championship match. We got Mandy Rose versus Asuka. What I didn't like about this match was Sonya Deville was in Mandy's corner. So when Asuka would do something in Sonya's corner, she would try to retaliate. Or if Asuka went for the pin, Mandy would try to have Sonya interfere in some way or form. I was expecting the referee to kind of eject Sonya from the ring, but there it is. So yeah, Asuka, despite all that, retained the title, which is good. I don't really want to see the Women's Championship on Mandy Rose just yet. Sonya, maybe, but I don't see Mandy right now as a champion. And it's not a knock, it's just hasn't been there in a long time, you know. She's been on Total Divas, sure, but this is new for her, so I can't wait to see what they do with her, actually. So, we had the McMahon meeting. The New Day go into, well, they charge into Vince's room with Kofi, because, of course, why are you waiting here? You've been here for an hour. They have Big E and Xavier saying, what are you doing? This guy's been in the business for 11 years. Why did you take him out of the WWE Championship match? Which I think shot them in the foot, so to speak, but McMahon's like, your match is next. You're in a three-way match. Okay. Sounds good. Again, I think that, yeah, their heart was in the right place, but the New Day kind of screwed over Kofi in some way, shape, or form. I really hope this doesn't call for a Kofi heel turn. We then go to Kofi Kingston, who comes out thinking he's going to be in a WWE Championship match. As it turns out, the referee gets called over at the last minute change. It's a handicap match. The bar come out. You know, it's basically a two-way fucking beatdown. And you know, this is kind of what pisses me off right here. You have a guy like Kofi Kingston. This guy deserves the WWE Championship match, and he doesn't get it at Fastlane. Well, then he gets called to the office. You think, okay, he's going to get a match with Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens in the main event, but nope. We have to have the bar coming out and beat the shit right out of Kofi Kingston. No, and they won. Of course they won. The New Day came out, and this was bullshit. I skipped through the rest of this match because it was fucking bullshit. That doesn't need to happen. And I know it's only probably going all the way to WrestleMania because that's what happens usually, but they're treating the guy that's been in the business for 11 years like dog shit. It pisses me off. And you know what? Like I said, AEW. We then go on to the Raw Tag Team Championship match. The Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. And I gotta say, this was a really good match. I mean, it was a little confusing. You had the Revival take with Chad and Bobby, which I didn't really understand, but whatever. I think Aleister and Ricochet do make a great tag team. They pulled out all the stops there, but it wasn't without the Revival retaining their titles. And you know what? Good. I want to see what more these guys can do as the champions. So this was good. This was a really good match. And the outcome, it was a good pick. We then had a Fatal 4-Way match for the U.S. Championship. Originally, we talked about it. It was going to be Andrade San Almas versus Rey Mysterio. Turned into a U.S. title match. Samoa Joe and R-Truth. Okay. Interesting. But, again, Joe came out the winner. Tapping out Rey. So it was kind of pointless because we all knew that Joe was going to win. I didn't really want R-Truth to win. I don't want Andrade and Rey to win, so the only choice was to have Joe retain. So I'm glad he won the match. We'll see what happens at WrestleMania. But there it is. Then we had the Tag Team Women's Championship match. The Huggenboss Connection versus the female Wild Samoans. Yes, that's what I'm going to call them. This was a really good match. Surprising outcome. Those four really held their own. It was really cool. The Huggenboss Connection won, And it wasn't the elbow splash combo that did it, but it was a really good match. And then, of course, you had the Samoans give the receipt. And did they ever do a fucking beatdown on the Boston Hug Connection? And what was interesting, too, was you had Beth Phoenix, who was on commentary, get up and get in the face of Tamina. So I'm thinking, I guess Beth is coming out of retirement, which I think is okay. She's really not that old. So the Nia and Tamina beat the shit out of her as well, bring her into the ring. They're continuing the assault. Out comes Natty. So now we're gonna see Natty and Beth in a tag team. I think this is really good for the women's division. I don't know enough women tag teams. I think this will be pretty good. But, with the veterans like Tamina, Becky, and Natalya, I like to see these women actually have a really good match. And Beth has been around a little bit longer than Tamina and Natalya, so I can't wait to see where this goes. But good match. I really enjoyed it. We had the WWE Championship match. We had Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. And yes, McMahon said it was going to be a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. So, out comes Mustafa Ali. A guy that was taken out a few weeks ago, I guess. I can't remember, but this was a pretty good match, too. it was interesting. You know, Kevin Owens did a good. I mean, they had a good match. You know, Kevin did a lot of good moves as well. I tried to pay as much attention as I could to this one, but yeah, basically Bryan won, and yeah, so we'll see what happens at WrestleMania. Again, I'm really hoping that they come to their senses and fit Kofi in there somewhere, but we'll see what happens on SmackDown. Then we had the Raw Women's Championship match. We have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. And yeah, despite Becky having issues with her leg, they actually put on a really good match. Charlotte was being very cocky, and that was kind of cool actually. Just targeting Becky's leg and taunting her and just being really arrogant. I kind of enjoyed that. And this match was going really well. And out comes Ronda Rousey just storming the ring. No, running to the ring actually. And beating Becky up. So the match automatically goes to Becky, but this was pretty cool because the stipulation was if Becky won, it will be a triple threat match for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. And if all goes well, that will main event WrestleMania. So I'm looking forward to seeing this, and I think everyone else is too. I mean, Ronda really wanted to face Becky, so who knows. Then we have the match that will have the end of the Shield. The Shield took on Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. And this match didn't disappoint. I really enjoyed it. They pulled out all the stops. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting things that will be said tonight. As a matter of fact, Raw is right now. The Shield addressing their farewell speech. Kind of interesting to see what happens with Seth Rollins. Yeah, one last motherfucking time. Which, you don't really hear a lot of cussing, but there it is. And they bleeped it out. Really, it was a pay-per-view. But there it is. The Shield did the whole stalking the ring. They did the 3-man power bomb. And yeah, it's really sad to see a faction like just stop because I guess Dean really is leaving. But there it is. I mean, things don't last forever, but who knows? Never say never. I kind of like to think that it's going to be like a DX type thing where they will come back eventually. So, yeah. Anyways, this is Fastlane 2019. Talk to you later. Bye.